So I was super inspired by Kevin's keynote, talked all about AI. I heard that you're the guy to talk to about doing stuff with AI. So since we're in a conference, I thought, why not build a conference app? What can I do to get started?
I get a lot of questions about how AI can help accelerate business change and how people can get started. In fact, we've seen AI and machine learning fuel innovation across a wide range of scenarios, from knowledge mining to predictive analytics, from speech transcription to computer vision. These applications of AI enable organizations to be both more effective and more efficient, automating processes to free their teams to focus on more impactful work and infusing cutting-edge intelligence into their applications to uncover new insights and unlock avenues of future growth. The tools available to developers are growing as well. Emerging out-of-the-box services and pre-built AI models enable developers to get started building enterprise-grade AI faster than ever before. At the same time, machine learning platforms are enabling developers to reach new heights of sophistication and scale with advanced ML ops for building and managing custom models. We've been doing fundamental research in AI since the start of Microsoft Research over 30 years ago. In the last 4 years, the breakthroughs we've had, from object recognition to speech recognition to machine reading and comprehension, they've all accelerated. In fact, just last month on the popular NoCaps benchmark, our model beat the performance of people attempting the same tests. More than 45,000 customers are currently using Azure AI, including 90% of the Fortune 500, driving innovation across industries and around the world. Our customers come from a broad spectrum of industries, from established leaders investing in modernizing their businesses with a trusted platform for enterprise-grade AI, to new entrants driving innovation with AI from the ground up. Our foundation of breakthrough research, combined with deep learning algorithms, massive training data, and the powerful Azure computing infrastructure, have been the driving force in our AI evolution and in building our AI portfolio. The AI platform is how we bring all elements together to meet the needs of customers. The Azure AI stack allows you to start with scenario-specific AI services using the applied AI services. It also allows you to leverage customizable, high-quality AI models with cognitive services across vision, speech, and language. The stack also gives you the flexibility to build your own custom models using Azure Machine Learning. You can start as high as you want and go as low as you need. As you saw in Kevin's session, we've seen a lot of ongoing innovation in foundation models for AI. For example, our first foundation model for vision, which is codenamed Florence, was trained on billions of images and text. By training a model on language and vision together, a multimodal model, it's able to recognize and label objects that it hasn't even been trained on before, a technique called zero-shot learning. Capabilities powered by this model will be made available in a preview as one of our cognitive services in the coming months. These innovations enable interesting scenarios like using a freestyle text query to search objects in an image or within a large set of images or video. Today, we're announcing that the Azure OpenAI service is in preview. Customers can apply for access now. The Azure OpenAI service combines OpenAI's models with the enterprise capabilities of Azure. Customers can leverage large-scale generative models with deep understanding of language and code to enable new reasoning and comprehension capabilities for building cutting-edge applications. The service can be used for a variety of use cases, such as writing assistance, code generation, and reasoning over data. From financial services to insurance to healthcare, we're seeing new and cutting-edge applications of the Azure OpenAI service. One example we're seeing is in medical billing. The Azure OpenAI service helps extract and summarize this billing content in a way that speeds up the entire billing process. And this is only the beginning. Let's take a deeper look into what CarMax, one of our first Azure OpenAI service customers, is doing. CarMax's use of Azure OpenAI service is enabling their shoppers to access information in a way that they've never been able to before.
Car buying is a big decision. It's the second largest thing a person will do after buying a home. CarMax disrupted the industry by bringing honesty and transparency. We have tens of thousands of cars on our website or through our app. And without talking to a human being, customers can get overwhelmed.
The challenge that we had was that we only could create so much content. There's manual effort, there's research, the writing, there's the proofreading.
Our writers can only produce so much content a month. would have taken them years to produce enough pages to be relevant.
Azure OpenAI service allows us to summarize all of the custom reviews and put it in a simple to read and understandable sentence.
We're able to take content and feedback from a lot of other customers, curate it, and create this very tailored content for a specific car.
Through the fine-tuning process, we're at 80% of the content goes through without a human needing to be involved. We're estimating an individual would take 11 years to do what OpenAI service has done in days. We have seen a significant increase in our search engine optimization.
Now, the editorial team, they're able to focus their time on the areas most beneficial to the company and to our customers. There's so much possibility with OpenAI service. We're innovating at a scale, at a pace like never before. This is going to change everything we do.
With the growing adoption of AI also comes an imperative to make sure that developers are using and creating AI responsibly. To help model builders design, test, and manage models with responsible AI in mind, today we're announcing the Responsible AI Dashboard and Scorecard. The REI Dashboard is a single pane of glass bringing together several mature responsible AI tools in the area of interpretability, fairness assessment and mitigation, error analysis, causal inference, and counterfactual analysis. This is part of our larger effort on the Responsible AI Toolbox to integrate a variety of Microsoft RAI tooling in one central place. Seth wants to build a conference app using AI. He's going to need a lot of help. Do me a favor, teach him.
That's impossible.
If you want me to quit, just tell me.
I knew I should have taken that job at LinkedIn.
You know, I'm actually really excited about AI. But on the other hand, I have watched a lot of Terminator movies. I could totally make an AI business. Or I could move to a cabin in the woods, learn some karate. You didn't even see that coming. I made myself a yellow belt. Picture this, a conference AI app that looks at your pinky toe, knows what kind of programmer you are. A conference AI app that looks at your left eyebrow and knows if you're going to be a good worker. A conference AI app that knows how you feel. Oh no, what you're thinking.
Being responsible with AI is a core feature of everything we do. Responsible AI at Microsoft begins with our AI principles: fairness and inclusiveness, reliability and safety, privacy and security, and transparency and accountability. These principles tell us what we want to achieve with each AI system we create. To implement them, we need to think about three things. First, how to govern the AI system responsibly. Second, how to develop it responsibly. And finally, how to use it responsibly. Let's take a look at how we did this for Azure OpenAI as an example. Before you even start building an AI system, you need to think about the potential benefits, harms, and appropriate uses of it. For example, with Azure OpenAI, the model has this amazing potential benefit that it can be used to generate content or code to help humans be more productive. However, without the right design, it also has the potential to generate incorrect or even harmful content. Once you understand the potential benefits and risk, you need to design and build the system to ensure that it will work robustly and fairly for the intended uses. You may need to add further controls to mitigate any other potential risk you identified. As part of developing Azure OpenAI, we created a responsible AI system that works alongside the core model to automatically filter harmful outputs so customers and users don't need to worry about them. You also need to think about the use of the AI system. A system could be developed responsibly, but used incorrectly or in an application for which it's not well suited. For Azure OpenAI, to enable customers and end users to use it responsibly, they need to understand the strengths and weaknesses of the system. For example, because it may generate incorrect facts at times, the user should review any output before moving forward with it. we've released responsible AI documentation that helps customers understand how it works, and we've provided UX design patterns to help customers design their application to empower users to use GPT-3 effectively. This is an example of an AI system that we have developed responsibly for others to use, which is one of the benefits of using Azure Cognitive Services. If you're building your own AI system, then you need to go through this process as well. Fortunately, we have tools in Azure Machine Learning, like the new Responsible AI dashboard, to help you do this for your AI systems.
So this feels like a lot. Are people actually doing this?
There's a way to be responsible with AI. Let me show you something.
Gosh, why did I become a surgeon? My greatest responsibility is that of my patients. They're at the heart of everything.
Surgery is a significant decision. Previously, when we'll have a conversation with the patient, we would discuss the risks, but they really haven't been able to be personalised enough.
Predicting the risk of surgery is a really complicated process, and surgery is irreversible. So we need to make sure that we're operating on the right people for the right reasons, using machine learning and artificial intelligence to understand risk of surgery is just right at the very forefront of technological change. And responsible AI is absolutely key.
And the beauty of this system is that we can say what goes into that conclusion, and that helps the patients and the clinicians understand what is driving that particular risk. Currently, 220 different fields go into the model. Basic demographics, age, other aspects like social deprivation, the past medical history, blood tests.
The Responsible AI dashboard from Microsoft does help us have more meaningful conversations with the patient or a clinical team. Being able to offset those inherent biases, which we all have, is really important for the clinician because they can make a sound judgment and use the tools available to them to provide the best possible care to their patients.
Giving them a personalised view about what their particular risk is does empower people to be able to make decisions about their lives. And that is really what we need to be doing with consent, is making it as personal as possible to them.
For patients, ultimately this is going to provide them the treatment they need so that they recover faster, they're able to do the things in life that they wanted to do, that are struggling because of a condition that we can do something about. Such a privilege to be involved in that.
Picture this, an AI-powered robot, don't mind the square head, I know that's weird, square mouth, choose your food, powered by AI. So you have flan, although there is two schools of thought on that. A good spicy paella would be delicious for it to chew. Have you ever choked on a meatball? I have. It doesn't come out. AI chewing robot. Question?
So what exactly are you trying to accomplish here?
Yeah, so I don't even know how to get started.
Sometimes getting started with AI is as simple as getting started with AI. In fact, at Microsoft, we aim to bring world-class AI within the reach of every developer without requiring machine learning expertise. Our applied AI and cognitive services consist of specific scenario services that allow you to accelerate time to value when building AI solutions for common business challenges, such as Azure Form Mechanizer for document intelligence or Azure Cognitive Search for knowledge mining. Applied AI services are built on the foundation of Azure Cognitive Services, which encompasses high-quality AI models for vision, speech, language, and decision-making. Each AI service provides pre-built models to help you get started quickly. You can also bring your own data to customize on top of these models to increase model accuracy for your scenarios. Our portfolio of services are designed for developers and data science and can be used in any app by making simple REST API calls or via the SDK, which help you configure those API calls easily. For example, say you want to expedite checking in at a conference. You could use Azure Form Mechanizer to automatically extract the fields from things like a vaccine record or even an ID. Or maybe you want to have your conference Q&A documents available in multiple languages using the document translation service. Additionally, folks might want to summarize the conference docs using document summarization. Maybe you want to get more session feedback. I can imagine a combination of text-to-speech and sentiment analysis to get a super quick review right as folks leave a session. Today, we're excited to announce new updates for Applied AI in preview. New prebuilts in Azure Form Recognizer for vaccine and insurance card, and added layout understanding capabilities for paragraph, headers, and titles to enable more precise text extraction. We also continue to focus on language expansion, adding new languages to our prebuilt models such as invoices and business cards. Power Virtual Agents will be incorporating additional Azure Bot Service Composer capabilities, such as new authoring canvas, rich responses, event-driven, and contextual triggers, as well as new telephony channels to further cater to pro developers, all available in gated preview. Also, Azure Metrics Advisor, new auto-tuning capability in preview, enables you to customize the service to surface just the anomalies that matter to you. Through the guided experience, you provide detection preferences such as level of sensitivity and anomaly pattern to tailor the model to suit your needs. We're also excited to announce the following updates to Azure Cognitive Services. You've already heard from Eric about Azure OpenAI in preview. In addition to that, Cognitive Services for Language now offers summarization for documents and conversations, which quickly surface the key information. The service also has several capabilities now generally available, such as custom named entity recognition. This helps identify your specific terms in your specific text. We are also introducing custom text classification, which organizes and categorizes text with your domain-specific labels, like a support ticket or an invoice. Finally, conversation language understanding is the next generation of language understanding, bringing improved accuracy, built-in multilingual capabilities, and much more. We're also announcing that translator document translation capability is now generally available. Scan PDF were previously inaccessible for machine translation, but now this most common document type can be automatically translated while keeping the original formatting perfect for a conference app.
So you're saying all I have to do to use AI is just call a service?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. Take a look.
In September of 2021, when the Canadian government mandated for all employees of a federally chartered company to be vaccinated, Air Canada fell into that category. We wanted to make sure that we did some level of checking to have compliance and ensure that that was done.
Let me tell you about Air Canada AI team a bit. It's a fairly new team that was created about 3 years now.
And the team tackles a range of different projects from revenue management to cargo. The team itself is about roughly 50 to 70 people.
I would say that there was no exact plan on how this data would be validated.
For the vaccine, we had to validate 1,000 submissions.
We had multiple languages, we had submissions from all the different types of vaccines, and we also had submissions from multiple countries as well.
You have PDF files, other times you have pictures, some pictures that are not straight. Initially, it was let's capture the information and find out how we can make sense out of it.
We had to first produce a working prototype. We only had roughly 2 months to do all of that.
We worked with Microsoft to build our solution. We relied on Form Recognizer a lot to be able to extract not only digital document, but also picture containing handwritten information.
We are able to recognize just through the first pass over 70% of the 30,000 submissions.
That's really what made the project so successful, that everybody was working to deliver a solution, and we had great help within Microsoft collaboration to deliver that on time.
Really exciting for Air Canada going forward, thinking about different initiatives and projects that we have on the horizon.
Example that I can give is we have some maintenance sheet. These are printed documents, and we want to extract information from these printed documents.
We're just scratching the surface of what AI can do within the airline industry. We're really excited to collaborate with Microsoft for future projects.
So listen, Abe, I'm thinking, what if we built an AI model that generated heroic copy for our conference?
That sounds like something custom, right?
Is that hard to do?
Taking custom models from idea to business value is hard. Add the need for collaboration, governance, security, etc. It seems like this task becomes impossible. Thankfully, we have Azure Machine Learning. Azure ML is a service for accelerating and managing your machine learning project lifecycle. Machine learning professionals, data scientists, and engineers can use Azure ML in their day-to-day workflow to train, deploy, and monitor models. For example, data scientists can experiment and train models using Azure ML notebooks, where they'll have enhanced productivity tools like code suggestions. They would also have access to the Azure ML Python SDK v2 to do common ML tasks like uploading a model to the Azure ML registry for collaboration across their team. As for the ML engineers, they'll be able to easily collaborate with data scientists while using a world-class editor like VS Code running on the Azure ML compute. They'll be able to easily productionalize data science notebooks by converting them to Azure ML components, and will be able to create reproducible pipelines for ML ops. Lastly, they'll be able to work with the team to securely deploy the custom ML models to production with the new V2 Azure ML CLI. Azure ML bridges the gap within ML teams, provides a platform for teammates to work collaboratively, and helps teams deliver ML models into production faster. This platform will continue to grow, and today I'm proud to announce some new releases. You heard from Eric and Sarah about the new Responsible AI dashboard and scorecard. Today, we're announcing the general availability of Managed Endpoints, which simplifies deploying large-scale machine learning models for both real-time and batch inferencing with an intuitive developer interface. Additionally, we are launching a host of features in preview for automated ML, such as support for NLP and image tasks, generation of model training code, and other enhancements for product integration and ML ops in Azure ML. On top of that, we're very proud to announce our new Python SDK v2 preview is going to be released. This further simplifies the developer experience, especially for those who love Python. If you love using the terminal and command line, don't worry, we have you covered. We're also proud to announce the general availability of the v2 command line interface, which allows users to participate in the ML lifecycle without needing to learn specific programming language. Lastly, we're announcing integration with R Studio Workbench, which allows users familiar with R to use Azure ML more natively.
Would you like some? Gross. Listen, this AI is going to be amazing. So, how about we use AI to limit access to our AI with AI?
You could, but have you talked to Sarah about doing this responsibly?
So I really wasn't paying attention.
Great.
She's right behind me.
Having the right tool makes a world of difference when it comes to building custom AI models responsibly. The Azure Machine Learning Responsible AI Dashboard and Scorecard helps put into practice the 3 pillars of responsible AI that Sarah mentioned earlier, available through a variety of working methods, such as the newly available Code First CLI v2 and public previewed SDK v2 experiences, as well as a no-code UI experience from the Azure Machine Learning Studio UI. When you're developing your ML model, you can easily assess your model during training and testing time with the Responsible AI Dashboard. You can evaluate your models with reproducible and automated workflows to assess model fairness, explainability,
error analysis, and causal analysis, as well as model performance and exploratory data analysis. For instance, in this ML app that Seth built, the model will unfairly favor those who are using spaces instead of tabs and not living in Antarctica when providing access to the application we built. When you're ready to use your ML model, you can make real-life interventions and policies with causal analysis in the Responsible AI dashboard and generate a Responsible AI scorecard for trained ML models in your Azure Machine Learning workspace at deployment time. When this ML app is deployed and in use, it's important to build confidence in its predictions when allocating opportunity to all programmers. Finally, to govern your ML models, you can export and share Azure Machine Learning's Responsible AI scorecard for your models as a PDF report to contextualize Responsible AI metrics with both technical and non-technical audiences, bringing stakeholders along as well as assisting in compliance review. Hopefully, with these new tools, you will be empowered to take the next step and start developing, using, and governing your machine learning models responsibly. Seth, your ML model disproportionately favors those who use spaces instead of tabs, and also those programmers not living in Antarctica?
Well, spaces all the way. And with real estate prices, Antarctica would make a great summer location.
Seth,
What's up?
you're late. I have one rule around here. If you're not 10 minutes early, you're late.
Sad TikToks.
So, Seth,
Yes.
you talked to a lot of people today. Tell me what you learned.
I feel like maybe if I say too much.
Seth, I promise.
Okay.
We're not going to cut you off.
Okay. And I think the most important takeaway for me was how.
To summarize, the Azure AI portfolio supports many different approaches for getting started with AI. Whether harnessing new document models in Form Recognizer, building models from the ground up with Azure Machine Learning, or even using a combination of different approaches. Hopefully, you've also learned that responsible AI is at the core of every stage of building an AI app, and that assessing models for fairness is easier than ever with the new Responsible AI dashboard and scorecard. We're excited to announce these powerful innovations across every layer of the Azure AI portfolio, and we can't wait to see how developers continue to use these tools to build powerful, responsible AI applications.
That's what I learned. It's been amazing. Look, we're in a conference right now. Do you want to go back and maybe answer some questions?
Let's go.
Let's do it. The Ninja Turtle with the stick is the best one.
Yeah, but it's all about the bandana. And
Yeah,
that's the thing that makes the big difference to me is like who's got the coolest looking bandana.
I know. And I was going to wear a bandana for this, but they told me I couldn't.
Yeah, bandanas are they're kind of a little.
Oh, look at that!
Wow.
All right, Eric. That was so much fun. Thanks for helping me out, my friend.
Always happy to help you out and happy to work with such the wonderful people on the team and, of course, have a little fun at your expense.
Yeah, I always have fun at my expense, too, so that's great. I have no idea what you're talking about, by the way. I didn't feel any of that. And hey, look, who's here? It's our MVPs joining us via Microsoft Teams. Hello, everyone. All right, it's good to be here. We're going to get to their questions in a moment, but first, we did actually build something.
We did, actually. Take a look at this conference app that we've built. It's pretty amazing how we've put all the pieces together and actually built a real app using AI. I mean, why don't you tell us a little more about it?
Yeah, so right here, easy check-in with Form Recognizer. If you have documents, you can translate them and keep the same structure. You can see there's got to be 50 billion languages there. I can't see, it's really small over here for me.
A lot.
But notice it keeps the structure. It's a PDF. If you want to summarize large documents, you know like your emails are kind of long. So take I can summarize your emails now. Read them. I can also talk, because getting feedback from conferences is hard. Imagine being able to talk into your phone and being able to know right away, oh, you were not happy. And then finally, the pièce de résistance. I'm not very good at marketing, and so this is a GPT-2 model running in Azure Machine Learning. Take a look at this conference app marketing copy generation. This epic conference will be held at least 20 years hence. Obviously,
in the future.
Yeah, and if it's going to be in 20 years, it's going to be really good.
Right.
I'm pretty sure. Finally, this is my favorite. The conference learnings will, best marketing copy ever, will be given.
They will be given.
Yeah. We shall be sitting then, reclining in a large room. I could not have written this.
It's almost like Homer wrote it.
It's almost like Homer wrote it, indeed.
And, if you actually want to see how we built this, make sure to tune in to Breakout 13, where we show the first few tabs of the app, and Breakout 21, where we build the heroic marketing copy generator.
Amazing. And you can find those breakout sessions via the session scheduler. Before we continue, though, any more additional announcements?
There are a few indeed, Seth. So we at Microsoft are committed to advancing AI so that every person or organization on the planet can achieve more. In addition to evolving AI through Microsoft research-driven AI breakthroughs that are implemented in Azure tools and services customers can use today, Microsoft also works with other organizations to help the global AI community evolve, expand, and thrive. Today, Microsoft is announcing several key partnerships, including Meta and Hugging Face. Meta, previously known as Facebook, has selected Azure as a strategic cloud provider to accelerate AI research and development. As part of the agreement, Meta will expand its use of Azure supercomputing power to accelerate AI research and development for its Meta AI group. Meta will use a dedicated Azure cluster of 5,400 GPUs using the latest virtual machine series in Azure, the NDM A100 V4 series, which features NVIDIA A100 Tensor Core 80 gig GPUs for some of their large-scale AI research workloads. Meta recently trained the OPT 175 billion parameter model on this Azure cluster, and along with OpenAI and Microsoft, this really showcases how the largest models are being built on Azure. In addition, Meta and Microsoft will collaborate to scale PyTorch adoption on Azure and accelerate developers' journey from experimentation to production. In the coming months, Microsoft will build new PyTorch development accelerators to facilitate rapid implementation of PyTorch-based solutions on Azure. Microsoft will also continue providing enterprise-grade support for PyTorch to enable customers and partners to deploy PyTorch models in production, both on the cloud and on the edge.
This is really cool, but you mentioned something about Hugging Face, which I'm a huge fan of.
Of course. I'm also excited to announce that Hugging Face is a new Azure partner doing cutting-edge AI on Azure. Hugging Face has been on a mission to democratize good machine learning. With their Transformers open source library and the Hugging Face Hub, they're enabling the global AI community to build state-of-the-art machine learning models and applications in an open and collaborative way. Every day, over 100,000 people all over the world download more than 1 million models and datasets to solve real-world business problems with AI. At Microsoft, we're committing to sharing our latest AI innovations with the community and investing in contributing to open source. In fact, Microsoft has contributed to over 150 state-of-the-art machine learning models on Hugging Face to do amazing things like automatically analyze PDF documents or detect objects in images, or power semantic search experiences, or even transcribe speech automatically. I'm excited we're bringing together the best of Hugging Face and Azure platform, and to offer our customers new integrated experiences that build on the secure, compliant, and responsible AI foundation that we have in Azure ML, our MLOps platform. If you haven't already, please check out Hugging Face's build session where their CEO and head of product discuss this partnership further.
Well, this is awesome. You saw some of the B-roll of some of the features, but make sure you go to that session. Well, like I've mentioned before, we have our wonderful MVPs joining us in Together mode via Teams. Hello. Look at these. These are such nice people. And they also have some burning questions. So let's get to them right now, and helping us, always available to us, Sarah Bird. Man, did I time that right? Boom!
Sarah Bird.
Back at the office. We left you at the office. Sorry about that, Sarah. She's amazing.
Sorry, I missed the long walk.
I know. She's amazing. I know we ribbed her a little, but honestly, when we talk about our AI, it's super important. We always consult with her.
She's our expert on everything responsible AI. So yeah, we look for information all the time.
All right. So now let's throw it to one of our MVPs, Makedi Ohana Esteban Candido, content creator at Explicami. What's your question, my friend?
Yeah, it's great to be here. Well, my question is, what are the three biggest challenges that Microsoft sees for AI in the coming years, and how are you preparing to be part of this journey?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah, it's a great question and something we think about a lot of what's coming up and what's next in AI. And so if I were to say the three biggest challenges, one is, we've seen these really large language models like GPT-3 and, they're really powerful and amazing, the types of things that they can do. And now we're working a lot with customers to figure out how do we take that power and really bring it into the applications that customers are really going to value and use. And so there's a lot of work with customers hand in hand to figure out exactly what these scenarios are and how do we set things up just right to really make things work the way that our customers are looking for them to. Probably the second thing is pretty related to that is these models are really large, and so we're spending a lot of time focusing on how do we make it efficient to serve these at scale. How do we reduce the cost of serving? How do we use the latest and advanced hardware to really accelerate the models and the inferencing speed of it? And so a lot of time and effort going into that as well. The third thing I'd probably say is, with AI just exploding over the last, 5 years, even decade, it's still too hard to use. And so we spend a lot of our time working with customers trying to simplify the way that they can take AI and use it in their applications. Everything from the things that we're doing in Azure Machine Learning to make things simple to, more packaged solutions like our cognitive services and making those really easy to consume.
That's cool. I mean, there's a lot of innovation. I love the large language model stuff.
Yeah, it's really exciting the way that that's really changed the industry. Transformer.
Oh, see? Transformer. All right, joining us next is Ivana Tilka, Technical Innovation Evangelist, 3XM Group. Hi, Ivana. What's your question, my friend?
Hey, Eric. Hey, Seth. My question would be, what are some use cases of Azure OpenAI that companies are taking advantage of right now?
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, some of the things that we're seeing are, this model predicts text, but what we really want to do is have it do really useful things like, Seth mentioned summarizing emails, right? And so can you take text and summarize it? We've worked with CarMax and we talked about them, how they're looking at all of these customer reviews of cars and all the different car models and how they can sort of put that together. It's a massive amount of customer generated content. And to be able to figure out what are the salient points from that and summarize that so that customers can read what other people said about this car and really trust and understand it without having to go through just tons and tons of models and things like that. So we've seen a lot of use cases like that. We've also, obviously, with Copilot, we see a lot of natural language to code scenarios. And it's even, Copilot is sort of the actual coding example, but it's expanding to a lot of places where, you can use a 3D modeling engine and use natural language to say, move this object around or things like that. So we're seeing a lot of that type of use cases as well. And then, of course, bots and, being able to use those in customer support scenarios where now the AI models really understand the language that we're talking and are much richer in terms of how they can respond to you. So yeah, we think a lot about all of that.
Sarah, any thoughts on large language models? What's exciting about them for you? Azure OpenAI specifically.
I think Azure OpenAI has been a great opportunity for us to really innovate in responsible AI as well, right? We actually need the technology to more deeply understand language and understand what people are saying to ensure that we're saying the things we want to say. And so this has been a really great chance for us to build the, Azure OpenAI safety system around the core models to really improve the quality of the output of those models. And so I think this is just the beginning where, language is an incredibly powerful technology, and there's so much potential for us to really have it work well in every single scenario. And so responsible AI is a key part of that.
That's a perfect segue. Amazing question so far. Someone asked me this just as a segue. As part of the RAI approaches, how do we ensure that humans are still in the loop as well as new folks and younger generations who will use and support this in the future? Sarah?
Yeah, this is a great question, and keeping humans in control is one of our core, responsible AI values. Now, how we do this depends a lot on the scenario or the domain. In some cases, it might be perfectly fine to have humans carefully design the end-to-end system and review that and monitor the output or monitor it in an ongoing way. However, in higher stakes domains or places where an error might have a higher impact, then you're going to want to look at other patterns. Like we may want humans to be inserted in the application to check for errors, or we may want humans to take the output and do a full review and go and use that. So for example, in Copilot today, the code that is generated is just a suggestion for the developer, and the developer can take that, they can edit it, they're still going to put it through their normal software development process. And so ultimately, it's a tool to aid humans, but not full automation. And so all of these different design patterns and guidelines are something that we've released as part of the Hacks toolkit. So you can go and see how you can insert humans into your application. And we'll be releasing new ones for GPT-3 specifically soon.
And this is really cool because ultimately, like, all software is for people,
right?
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, your thoughts, Eric, on this?
I mean, it's just all about how you sort of teach everyone how to use this technology and really do it in a thoughtful way. And so, yeah, that's one of our core tenets is that AI is it's really great at making predictions, and we want to use those predictions to help humans make better decisions. And so ultimately, humans are always the consumer of it. And so how do we make sure that there's always that human in the loop? It's a core thing that we think a lot about.
I love it. Also, we have Jasdeep Chopra, CEO, Pantera Technologies, who's in our live audience. Hello, Jasdeep, your question, my friend.
Hey there, thanks for having me. So my question is, what will the future look like for AI and ethics?
Oh, Sarah, future of AI and ethics. We did large language models, Azure OpenAI specifically. What about the future of AI and ethics? Sarah, over to you.
Yeah, I think, the big picture is part of what we were talking to Seth about earlier, which is, of course, that we need to govern the technology responsibly, we need to develop the technology responsibly, and we need to ensure that the technology is used responsibly. Now, of course, that's a higher level framework, and there's a lot of work to do within each part of that. And so a lot of the future, I think, is making each part of those real. In the last couple of years, we've made a lot of progress on governance and how we develop the technology, but it's still early days in terms of how we empower others to use it responsibly and build on top of it. So that's, I think, a big area. Where we're focused is a lot of product implementation patterns. Like we have the idea that models need to be fair, but what does that mean in terms of GPT-3? And so we've talked about the safety system we've built there. And so for each new emerging technology, we're going to have to take those higher level principles and build that product implementation pattern.
I mean, that's cool that we're thinking about it. I mean, even in our office time that we just had,
yes,
we started out with Sarah telling us the principles, and then at the end, Minsu talked about how we actually do this.
Apply them. No, and it's really important to think about. I mean, AI is evolving so rapidly and has benefited so much from just the rapid expansion and all the work on it together. And one of the things that we have we feel an obligation as creators of this technology is to make sure the benefits accrue to everyone. And so as we think about how our AI and ethics going to go into the future, it's going to be really important to think about these models and creating them in really responsible ways and making sure that the whole world can benefit from them. And so we work a lot on that.
Yeah, this is really cool. Okay, so we've got about 3 minutes left. Top of mind for you, and then top of mind for you.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much exciting things going on, so many exciting things. And, what's top of mind as we think about it, how is this field going to continue to expand? We've seen over the last decade, the theme really has been just make the model bigger. Deep learning, make the model bigger, and vision gets better. Speech got better. For language, you had to make the models much bigger. And they're still continuing to improve as we improve the size and the scale of these models. So how do we continue that trend, and how do we push on that while also making sure we've got the hardware and the systems underneath of it to really go and deliver it? That's going to be sort of a key thing that we think about as we push the frontier forward. And then from the customer side, it's really taking these lab advances that we get from working with teams like MSR and all the great research scientists, and how do we bring those to our customers in really simple, easy to consume ways that are really going to transform businesses. I think those are the things that are most sort of top of mind for me.
Sarah, for you.
Yeah, I think building on what Eric was just saying, for me, it's thinking about that complete system. How do we take this incredibly exciting technology and really make it work in practice and robustly and fairly in every single case? And that's a full system and application design. That's not just about the model. And so building that in for every scenario, for everything that a customer wants to do is really what's exciting and top of mind for me.
That's cool. And Sarah, where does even someone start with RAI? I wish you could wheel in that TV again for us,
Yeah.
Sarah.
Exactly. I think, at the beginning, right, you have to know what you're trying to do with the technology and what are the potential benefits and what are the potential downsides. And then with that information, you've got to, really think about how you're going to achieve those benefits and mitigate those risks.
Amazing.
Fortunately, we have lots of great tools to help. So Responsible AI Dashboard, that's where you should start.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sharon. Thank you, MVPs, for your questions. We really appreciate you. Also, Eric and Sarah, this has been awesome.
Always fun.
Love my teammates. To quickly recap what we've covered, we actually built an app. We had a Hugging Face announcement, some stuff about Meta. We had the RAI dashboard and scorecard.
And yes, don't forget to check out Breakout 13 and Breakout 21 to see our applications in action. You can find those in the session scheduler.
Fantastic. And for more AI awesomeness from Microsoft Build, be sure to check out aka.ms/build Azure AI. Sarah and Eric, thanks again for being here with me. And one more big thank you to our MVPs for joining us from around the world. Before we go, I have to shout out to our wonderful team who helped put our video together. Sarah, Minsu, Eric, all the wonderful people, Abe. And that's our show. I'm Seth Juarez. I hope you've enjoyed Microsoft Build Into Focus on AI as much as I have. Have a great Microsoft Build. We'll see you on the flip side.